Hi everyone, and welcome to Big Ideas Growing Minds. We're so happy you're here. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support means the world to us. Today's big idea comes from John Gottman Nan Silver and their best-selling book, 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work. For more than 16 years, Gottman and his team observed and recorded how couples interacted. They interviewed them, took physiological readings of their physical and emotional states, and followed them as they went through different phases of their marriages. Based on this data, Gottman developed an impressive ability to predict with 91% accuracy if a couple would divorce or stay together, sometimes after as little as 5 minutes of observing a couple interact. 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work is in its essence a guide and workbook for assessing the state of marriages and for saving those that are at risk of failing. Our bouillon cube summary of the book is divided into 2 parts. This is part 1, where we will focus on indicators of a troubled relationship, whereas part 2 will walk you through the 7 principles for making marriage work. The first step toward improving or enhancing a marriage is to review and understand the indicators of a troubled marriage. Indicator number 1. Harsh startup. All research shows that if a couple starts a discussion on a harsh tone, for example by using criticism or sarcasm, it will inevitably end on a negative note as well, even if there has been many attempts to be nice or soften the discussion along the way. 96% of the time, you can predict the outcome of a conversation based on the first 3 minutes of the interaction. A harsh startup simply dooms you to failure. Number 2. The Four Horsemen. Certain kinds of negativity are so lethal to a relationship that Gottman labels them the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. They are as follows. 1. Criticism. If marriage partners often criticize each other for who they are, as opposed to complain about something the partner did, the alarm bells should start sounding. 2. Contempt. Showing contempt for a partner by, for example, eye-rolling, mocking, or using disrespectful words or body language is also a warning sign. 3. Defensiveness. Displaying defensive behavior during discussions without taking any responsibility for the conflict or being open to change is basically another way of saying, the problem isn't me, it's you. 4. Stonewalling, i.e. completely ignoring a partner, even when screamed at, is the 4th horseman. Some typical stonewall responses are stony silence, changing the subject, or simply leaving. Indicators 3 and 4. Flooding and body language. Flooding means that your spouse's negativity is so sudden or overwhelming that it leaves you shell-shocked and unable to react, respond, or solve problems. The body goes into overdrive, the heart starts pounding, adrenaline shoots through the body, and reflexive responses kick in. Once this has happened, any chance of resolving the issue is far gone. Frequent experiences of flooding is a clear predictor that divorce is probable if nothing is done to improve the marriage. Number 5. Failed repair attempts. When one party tries to reach out during an argument, but the partner is too far gone to accept the olive branch, they are experiencing failed repair attempts. If this happens more often than not, it is a clear indicator of difficulties in the relationship. Number 6. Bad memories. Couples that are close to divorce often have a hard time recalling positive memories and even rewriting the past in a negative manner. Even joyful events like their first date or wedding day. As bleak as this all sounds, John Gottman is convinced that many marriages can be saved by strengthening the friendship that is at the heart of every marriage. And the key to doing this? The 7 Principles of Making Marriage Work, which we will review in part 2. At the heart of Gottman's theory lies the simple truth that happy marriages are based on deep friendship. Couples who share mutual respect and enjoy each other's company are more likely to stay together and live happier and healthier lives. If you follow Gottman's 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, you'll be well on your way to improving and strengthening your marriage forever. Principle number 1. Enhance your love maps. Happy couples are intimately familiar with each other's worlds. They have a love map in their mind where they store a vast amount of details about their spouse. They know their partner deeply and can easily list his or her current challenges, dreams, friends, beliefs, favourites of all kinds, and childhood experiences. All of us change over time, especially when we experience major life events like having a new baby. When a couple understands each other deeply and has the habit of staying up to date with each other's thoughts and feelings, they're less likely to lose sight of each other as they evolve through the years. From knowledge springs not only love, but the fortitude to weather marital storms. Number 2. Nurture your fondness and admiration. Couples that are happily married are good at expressing appreciation, acknowledgement, pride and admiration for each other. They share a mutual affection, fondness and respect which is essential for a lasting and fulfilling romance. Number 3. Turn toward each other instead of away. Happily married couples don't rely on romantic getaways or expensive gifts to sustain their relationship. Instead, they are adding engagement and fondness into their marriage by continuously turning toward each other in their daily life. They make time to call each other during the day. They go grocery shopping together. They listen to music or pay the bills together, hence deepening their emotional connection, all the while building a positive emotional bank account that helps them cope during challenging situations or discussions. Number 4. Let your partner influence you. This principle focuses on the importance of letting your partner influence you when making impactful decisions about your life, your marriage, your home, your kids, and so on. Gottman found that in the long run, the happiest and most stable marriages are those where the couple works as a team and see things from each other's perspective, consider each other's feelings, and seek common ground in case of disagreement. Number 5. Solve your solvable problems. This principle tackles problems head-on. According to Gottman Nan Silver, there are 2 key types of marital conflict: solvable or situational problems, and permanent problems that most likely will never be fully resolved. Happily married couples accept that permanent problems are an inevitable part of their relationship. They may not love these problems, but they are able to cope with them and to avoid situations that worsen them. Furthermore, they work through their solvable problems through respectful conversations and by the use of good manners. Here is some advanced advice for handling solvable disagreements. Soften your startup. Use repair attempts to diffuse tension. Soothe yourself and each other. Compromise. And be tolerant of each other's faults. Number 6. Overcome gridlock. Gridlock occurs when you and your partner cannot find a solution to a significant disagreement. Gridlocked issues are often intense and almost impossible to fix because they involve dreams for your life that are not being addressed or respected by your partner. Gridlocks can cause deep anguish, especially if the couple keeps having the same fights with no progress. Eventually, flooding and stonewalling set in and the marriage falls apart. The way to address these perpetual problems is to figure out how to respect and support each other's aspirations without sacrificing your own. You will probably never fully resolve the conflict, but you can learn to discuss and live with it without hurting each other. Number 7. Create shared meaning. Shared meaning arises when you and your partner succeeds in creating a life filled with shared rituals, goals, and memories. Gottman Nan Silver explains the importance of having such a microculture in every family and guides the reader on how to create this in their own life. And there you have it! 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work by John Gottman and Nan Silver. We hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please remember to give it a like. Take care and see you soon.